It's the first week of June, and it's been hot and dry. This patch of mud is what used to be the vernal pond. Raptors and vultures can regularly be seen soaring on thermal vents above the fields in the afternoon. The mornings have been relatively cool and highly active. Songbirds can regularly be observed singing and nesting and foraging. Surrounded by goldfinches is a male indigo bunting and full breeding plumage. The females are much more inconspicuous. Not only are they a drab brown, but they do most of the nest work, which consists of incubating the eggs and then feeding the chicks once they've hatched. While she's doing this, the male is usually busy perched high and singing to protect their territory. Although currently, this male is busy foraging on seeds. Like their cousins, the cardinals, they are one of the few birds whose ranges and populations have actually increased since European settlements. This is likely due to an increase in their preferred habitat: dense, weedy fields, thickets, and woodland edges. Not far away, printing himself in a tree, is the common yellowthroat. This warbler is very abundant around here. He probably has a mate sitting on a nest nearby, in which he will capture insects and bring to her. There is also an eastern towhee that inhabits this same field. Over in a snag in the beaver pond, there is a pair of eastern kingbirds busy building a nest. Although currently, one is lazily perched in the top left corner, I've seen them both bringing twigs to the nest. When the cup is finally completed, they will line it with grasses and animal hair. At the far end of our bird feeder trail, this alder flycatcher can be seen every morning hawking for insects while singing his burry, rather monotonic phoebe song. One of the sanctuary's most bedazzling jewels is the ruby-throated hummingbird. He perches high in the tree. His iridescent green glistens in the sun until he decides it's time to buzz off. Bobolinks are grassland nesters. I accidentally had approached too closely and scared him up. I retreated before flushing up his harem that could be on the nest. But the real danger for this species is habitat loss. Much of their grassland habitat, such as the one they're currently nesting on, has been converted into hay fields. If the farmer mows too early, all the nests will be obliterated. In the near woods, just west of the beaver ponds, about a month ago or so, Matt pointed out some nesting behavior in crows. I took notice but then forgot about it until now. This week, there have been 3 fledgling crows in this vicinity. This one's 2 siblings have flown off. He is clearly agitated. I can only speculate as to why this one did not flee. I suspect that he's not as comfortable in his flying abilities, and therefore waiting till he knows he has to flee. Eventually, as I inched toward him, he flew off rather well. Grandpa used to always say, leave your radio at home, because they'll page you at the most inopportune time. However, it's hard to break the enchantment of being up close with an owl. Hanging around the beaver pond has been a groundhog, a mink, and of course muskrats. And I've always wondered how many black oil sunflower seeds a chipmunk can stuff in its cheek pouches. The answer is 51. We haven't found any red Fs all year up until this week, so it was a little bit of a relief to find 2, although it seems like there should be more. Then in the creek, there are a bunch of these salamander larvae crawling around. I'm not sure which species they are. I just know they're larvae because of the gills, and the only adult salamanders with gills in our region are mud puppies, which are much larger. In the same creek are water scavenger beetles. This one is currently exhibiting the behavior that it's named for, in scavenging on carrion. The family of water scavenger beetles, or Hydrophilidae, is rather large, with well over 200 species in North America. And don't let the name fool you. Not all are scavengers, some are predatory, and not all are even aquatic. However, the name suits this one just fine. Toward the tip of the abdomen, under the wings, there is an air bubble trapped, in which this beetle is using to breathe from. Notice how this one will stick its head above the water to breathe. This is a key field mark which distinguishes it from the predaceous diving beetle, which breathes by sticking its abdomen out of the water. Another key distinguishing feature is the swimming style. The water scavenger beetle strokes alternately with its legs, while the predaceous diving beetle strokes its legs simultaneously. There are also mayfly larvae, as well as dragonfly larvae. It seems to be breeding season for the dragonflies. This is made evident by watching them fly back and forth, patrolling their territory. One of our most common species is a member of the skimmer family known as the common whitetail. This is a female, so she doesn't actually possess a white abdomen. But looking at a male, it is obvious where they got their name from. This damselfly, in my opinion, is amongst the most beautiful of the insects. Some know it as the black-winged damselfly, others know it as the ebony jewel-wing. It is often noted for its unique flight pattern, which is fluttery, as in a butterfly's flight. Another common and conspicuous insect is this white-spotted sable moth. Perhaps it is so common because its larvae use goldenrod as a host plant. Not so common or conspicuous is the Phoscrocus geometer moth. And here is an extremely well camouflaged plume moth. This white admiral butterfly is heating itself up in the road. We've seen a wood satyr in the same place a couple of days in a row. This owlet moth is camouflaged to look like bird droppings. Noble moth skippers are relatively abundant. And this gorgeous specimen is the common spring moth. And here are some of the mysteries for the week. This mystery I'm particularly curious about. I suspect it's dragonfly leftovers. And it looks like somebody hung this woolly bear caterpillar out to dry. Thousands of these Chrysomelidae grubs have been eating the goldenrod around the sanctuary. The deer flies are out, and they're thirsty for blood. These slugs are not new. They've been around since the warm weather came, but these orange slugs are new. I've been looking for books or other resources to study spiders more. There have been some beautiful and fascinating specimens all over the sanctuary lately, including this one that seems to resemble an ant. We did get some much needed rain by the end of the week, and everything is looking lush and green. The cinnamon fern really stand out in the swamp, and the irises are breathtaking. It seems that it'll be a promising year for blackberries, and anybody who feeds on cowvetch or hawkweed will be happy. Hickory trees, ragged robin, red clovers, white clovers, and Canada anemone are all in bloom this week. Milkweed has sprouted up, and in the gardens over at the animal sanctuary, these Johnny Jump-Ups really caught my eye. With all the growth means we'll have some trail work to do next week. But of course, I'm looking forward to it.